Hey guys, all right, number two I want to talk about is going to be emotional stress or an emotional strain, I guess, would be. And this can be on yourself in particular, and it can also be more importantly, I think, if you're in a relationship, whether it's a new relationship or an old relationship, strains between two partners that aren't on the same page when it comes to health and fitness. So you have been with your spouse for quite a long time, perhaps, let's say, anywhere between maybe let's say a year, but to 10 years, 15 years. And all of a sudden, you've decided that you want to become healthier. You may have related this to your spouse. And then let's be very clear that when you tell your spouse that you want to live a healthier lifestyle and you'd like them to live a healthier lifestyle possibly as well, you're not telling them that you want them to lose weight. That's very important. That's a big sting. I think a lot of people feel at first is that they're like, oh, well, you don't find me attractive. That's not what we're trying to get across here. You know, living a healthier lifestyle, we want to live cleaner, healthier. Obviously, we want to live longer as long as we can. We want to be active as long as we can. We want to be able to do things for a greater period of time, drop bad habits possibly, and just be able to do more things generally in life and feel better while we're doing them. So it's not about changing body image per se. It's not about you want to be more attractive for other people. It's not that you're tired of your spouse. And those can be big things that kind of rise up in the back of people's minds, thinking like, is he tired of me? And opposite, like, is she tired of me? And every day is that the push, especially when they start to lose weight. Because as your confidence goes up and you start feeling a lot better about yourself, you're more energetic, you're more positive, you're more outgoing, then that could be a big fear for a lot of people because they're kind of in that comfort zone, right? Like you're comfortable with your spouse, and then all of a sudden one person's kind of shaking the tree, and a lot of these, not resentments, but a lot of these worries are kind of falling to the ground. So we need to catch them and talk about them before they turn into seeds and little worry trees, bad trees. So yes, be very clear of your intentions, and hopefully you can do it with your partner. That makes all the difference in the world. It's easier to live a healthier lifestyle with two people joining in. But if you're going to be doing it, and I have some friends that are like this where it's just not feasible for one of the two, maybe because it's work or the schedule, or like they're away a lot, so eating plans are not a thing they can change a whole lot. Um, they may decide to do a little more like walking or exercise when they can, kind of thing. But maybe the other person is fully invested, just all in. They're doing classes, they're doing new sports, and they're joining teams, and they're eating completely differently. And then it might not quite sync up anymore. Like it might have a little bit of friction there. Communication is a huge key. Knowing why your partner's doing it and being able to help, and then feeling comfortable with that change is going to be a big factor that you're going to have to get across. When you're thinking about yourself, mental strain, you will experience a lot of different feelings when you're pushing boundaries, because you always want to be pushing to the next level. We'll talk about this in a day or two, I think, about pushing past plateaus and breaking through boundaries and reaching a spot where you hit a goal and you're happy about it. You always want to reach up to the next goal. You always want to push farther and faster. You want to get complacent. Complacency is a very bad thing, because if once your body hits a place where it can do something easily, you're not straining it anymore. You're not exercising. You're not you're not getting results anymore because it's just kind of coasting. So when you're hitting those boundaries, you may get used to that. You may get comfortable. You run your 5 minutes, and then, oh, I didn't feel winded at all today. And maybe you have a bad day, and maybe you can only run 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Maybe you're hungover from the day before. You had some bad food. You're sick. Whatever it is, little things can play in your mind where you think that I've instead of going up and building this positive reinforcement, all of a sudden you're getting down in the dumps because you had one bad day. So that's something we need to watch out for, because that can be a big factor, especially if you're ramped up. Some days I look forward to going to the gym all morning, all afternoon, and then by the time I go in the evening, I'm tired, I'm sleepy, and I didn't eat very well that day, or I pushed myself too hard doing other things, and I didn't perform like I thought I was going to. I was all excited to lift a certain amount of weight or try a new exercise and be really good at it, and I just flopped and I sucked, and I felt bad, and that can turn people off for a day, a couple days, a week, a month. That can derail your whole exercise regime if you let it. So be very, very conscious about letting negative thoughts influence you too much. So we talked about our spouse, we talked about ourselves. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more different factors that are going to come into play. I want to talk about physical strain. That'll be the next video. But yeah, emotional strain is mostly a couple thing. I would say that's the biggest worry I have for a lot of people is you just need to be very clear, very open. If you don't have very good communication with the partner, that's something you should work on anyway. That's not my place, but definitely it is going to help. And then sometimes one person sees the other person taking off and being a lot more active and healthy, and they think my partner did it and I can do it too because we're a team. So always support each other and always talk to each other about things like that. And remember, just because your partner is living a healthier lifestyle and may want you to do the same doesn't mean that they want you to lose weight or change your physical appearance. They probably love you for exactly who you are, and that's why they're with you. They just care about you and they want you to be around for as long as they can. Okay, so next one we're going to talk about is physical stress. That I got to pick up a couple items for, just so I can kind of demo some stuff for you. And if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to leave me a message or on Facebook or wherever. All right.